Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing a special video by request from Renee. So thank you, Renee, for commenting and requesting a video. So I am making this, I'm dedicating this video to Renee. So she requested that because the Super Bowl was coming up, that I make some Super Bowl things that you could use for the Super Bowl that's whole food plant-based. And she requested carrot dogs and jackfruit sliders. So I am doing kind of a pre-prep video first to kind of show you how to prep for the carrot dogs. And usually I do all these things before I come on camera, but this is a very important prep that needs to happen before. So in this video, I am going to make carrot dogs. I'm going to make jackfruit sliders, kind of like a pulled pork slider. It's like a substitute. And then I'm also going to make a hummus recipe and a cauliflower wings and just some chopped up vegetables to go with the hummus. So I'm going to do all this in about 15 minutes. So I'm going to show you the pre-prep, and then I'm going to show you what I do. The only thing that really takes some premeditated prep are the carrot dogs. So here's an example of I already kind of did one. This is the carrot dog. It's just a carrot that I peeled and I kind of shaped round at the ends to make it look like a hot dog. So I'm going to show you how to do that for one of them. And then I merged two different recipes for carrot dogs that I seen. One came from Forks Over Knives and one came from Tabitha Brown, how she made hers. So I'm kind of merging two of the recipes. So I'll put the links to both of them down there, and you can kind of watch the video and see how I did to merge it, because I kind of made my own based on both. I've tried them both separately and I didn't like them that way, so I merged them together. So I'm going to show you how to make the carrot dogs, peel them and shape them, and then we will come back and actually show you how to make them. I do marinate mine for a couple hours in the refrigerator, so that's why this pre-prep is important. So I'm going to get right into it. So I already have one. I'm going to try to make them all the same size. You're supposed to make them down to the same shape, but I don't like to waste too much carrot. So I'm just going to kind of use this as a gauge for the rest of mine. So I'm going to cut some off the top, and then I'm going to cut some off the bottom. And I always leave a little bit of room for shaping them. So cut a little bit off the top, cut a little bit off the bottom. And then I have my little peeler here, and I'm just going to take usually one swipe down is good to get rid of that top layer of the skin. So you just take that and get the skin off. A nice way not to waste the skin is throw this in a salad. So I'm going to use it for a salad that I'm going to have later on today. So I just kind of make sure that I get the majority of the skin off. You can do that real quickly. So that's good enough for me. And then I use this same peeler and I just shape the ends to be rounded. So I just take it kind of like I'm using a knife and I shape it round. Now, some people are like super picky about this. I know it's a carrot. I'm not trying to mimic a hot dog in the sense that I want it to exactly look like it. I know it's a carrot. So I am just going to shape it as best I can to make it rounded. It's funny because I don't really like cooked carrots, but I tried this recipe. And when you add the flavoring to it, because I don't really like cooked carrots, I love carrot dogs. We don't eat them often, but when you want a hot dog, this is a nice alternative. So you can kind of see, to me, that's very sufficient. So I'm going to make the rest of mine like this, and then I will show you what I do to get these ready. Okay, so I have all my carrots cut up, and this is what they look like. Here's a couple of them. I did a total of 6 of them. So this is what my carrots look like. They're all shaved and cut up about the same size, lengthwise. You want them the size of a bun, basically. So I got them all cut up. So I will again link the 2 recipes that I made my recipe, because it is different. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take the carrots, and I am going to boil them in a mixture. And the mixture that I'm going to boil in looks like this. And basically for this mixture, I used 2 cups of, just making sure I get it right because I did follow. So I used 2 cups of vegetable broth. So here's my vegetable broth. I used 2 cups of organic low sodium vegetable broth. And then I used 1 cup of Bragg's Aminos, or liquid aminos. So actually I used 3/4 cups of this, and then about 1/4 cup of the coconut aminos, because I feel like for me the liquid aminos is kind of salty. So I did 3/4 cups of the liquid aminos with a 1/4 cup of coconut aminos. And then I put 2 tablespoons of A1 sauce. And then I put 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. And then, so that's what's in this mixture. I mix it together. I'm going to pour this in my pot over here. And I am going to put my hot dogs in here, or my carrot dogs. Sorry, carrot dogs. I don't want to misrepresent. I want to put my carrots in the pot, medium. And one of the other things that I did with my carrots that I kind of discovered from making them is I took a fork and I poked holes in them, just because I want to make sure as much flavor seeps into these as possible, because there's nothing like saying you have carrot dogs and they don't have any flavor. So I'm gonna marinate those and boil them in the pot for about 20 minutes or until they're tender. So the key is you don't want them to be mushy. You just want to get them tender enough. And then once, if that's all you wanted to do, you could eat them completely like that. Once they're tender, you can eat them completely like that, throw them on a bun. I like a little bit more flavor. So what I also have done is I've also made a marinade, and this is based off of the Forks Over Knives recipe. So I'll link, like I said, I'll link that in the description box. And so basically what I have done is I have taken their recipe, and I like to do the marinara. So once I boil these until they're tender, I put them in a baggie. I take this sauce, put them in a baggie, and I put the carrots in there, and I marinate these for about 4 to 12 hours. You can do it overnight. So again, for the carrot dogs, that takes the majority of your work. It takes about 30 minutes total from cooking to, cooking them and mixing up and cutting them and everything. And then I put them in the refrigerator as long as I can. So if you can do it overnight, the more flavor you will get into the carrots. So basically what I did is I took 1 cup of low sodium vegetable broth. I took a 1/4 cup of Bragg's apple cider vinegar. You can kind of see the apple cider vinegar. And then I used 2 tablespoons of coconut aminos, 2 teaspoons of paprika. I used paprika. I used dried mustard. I used coriander. Got some coriander in there, and then garlic powder, onion powder. And the other thing that I did, I'm sorry, I forgot to say, I added to the mixture on the stove is liquid smoke. So liquid smoke is kind of the key to anytime you're trying to make like bacon or anything that's like pork related, liquid smoke. So I put a 1/2 teaspoon of liquid smoke. It is potent. You should measure it. You should not use too much because it can overpower things. So I put some of the liquid smoke in there, and then I did a dash of ground cloves. Again, I'm gonna do a link to the carrot dogs for Forks Over Knives, because I use their exact ingredients. I did change up a couple of them. So that is what's in my marinara sauce. So once the carrots are cooked to the tender, I'm going to go ahead and put them in this marinara, and put it in a baggie, cover it with the marinara, and I'm going to put them in the refrigerator and let them marinate for 8 hours. And then when I'm done with that, we'll come back and I'll show you how I cook them. And again, if that's too many steps, if you don't like that, you can just basically do the same thing with this marinara here, and you could add some seasonings to it and just cook them till they're tender, and you could put them on a bun and eat them. But I like flavor, so I like it to do it this way. So I'll come back once the carrots are tender, and I'll show you how I put them in the baggie. We'll put them in the refrigerator, and then we'll make the rest of our recipes. All right. Okay, so our carrot dogs. We have been marinating these. I've marinated these for about 7 hours in the refrigerator in the baggie. So now it's time to cook them and get them all ready. So basically I have a little pan lined with foil. And you can throw these on the grill or you can do what I'm doing. So I preheated my oven to 450. And I'm going to just put these in the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes. Remember, we cooked them until they were tender. So these have already been cooked for about 20 minutes in a sauce. And then marinate it for anywhere from 4 to 24 hours. I did mine for about 7 hours. All right. So we just get rid of that marinara. Set it over here. And this is what they look like. So I am going to throw them in the oven just to reheat them for 8 to 10 minutes on 450. Okay, so carrot dogs will be ready 8 to 10 minutes. The other thing I'm making today are cauliflower wings. I posted a recipe on YouTube from someone who made these. I'm making a very easy version of these. I just basically took some cauliflower 4 bags of organic cauliflower that I already cut up, put my normal seasoning on them, all-purpose seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, onion powder. I'm going to throw them in the air fryer, roast them for about 10 to 13 minutes, and then I'm going to top them with Frank's Red Hot Wing Sauce for me. And then for my husband, I am going to put barbecue sauce on them for him. So that's number 2. That's the cauliflower wings. The third recipe I'm making for Super Bowl Sunday is I'm making a homemade hummus. I'll put the link to this hummus on down below. This is from High Carb Hannah. It's the best hummus recipe that I have found that I really like. So basically I have a can of low sodium chickpeas that I drained and rinsed. And then I saved the juice that was in there. It's called aquafaba. So I just basically took my hand and drained out the juice into a measuring cup. It had about a cup of it, but I'm only going to use a half a cup for now. So I'm going to drop that half a cup of aquafaba. It's the juice that comes from the chickpeas. And then in my little container, I have minced garlic, cumin, paprika, and a little bit of salt. I'm going to throw in there into the blender. So this is a super quick, about 5-minute recipe. And then I'm going to take 3 tablespoons of tahini and toss it in there, and then juice of 1 lemon. So I have my lemon. I had a whole bunch of lemon season that someone had given me, and I froze them into like cubes. So I just unthawed 2 or 3 of them, and I'm going to use that juice. So I'm going to use about a tablespoon or 2 of lemon juice. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of lemon juice to start. And I'm going to throw it in the blender. And if I need more, I have more aquafaba and I have more lemon juice. So you can throw this in there, hit the play button. just mix that into it. I added a little bit more aquafaba, mix it to it's nice and creamy. Hummus is done. So I'll show you what it looks like. And then you can add more seasoning if you need to just kind of taste it and see what you think about it. But it's just the best homemade hummus and super easy. It's better than any store-bought that I can find that doesn't have all the oil in it. So there is the hummus. So very quick, the hummus. We add that to our cut up vegetables here. So that is one nice little platter you can have. Just got cucumbers, carrots, celery, and hummus as our okay. And so the last thing that was requested was jackfruit sliders. So I usually get jackfruit in a can, and I'm very careful about the can because they usually have a lot of sodium in it. But I found this next to the can. I thought this is already easy because it's already shredded. Jackfruit is a fruit, so you can buy it whole and shred it yourself. You can buy it in a can and brine and shred it. So for me, I've seen this. I'm gonna use this. It is seasoned with some black pepper, onion, garlic, and sea salt. Already is organic. It's only water in here with it. So I already in there one packet in here. This is really easy because it's just a matter of reheating it and see what it looks like. And this is kind of something that can take the place of pulled pork, basically. So if you want to see what this looks like here, just looks like shredded beef, shredded pork. They've already seasoned it in a little bit. I'm going to turn the eye on, and I'm just going to add a little bit more seasoning, just some all-purpose, no salt seasoning because it already have salt in it. Just because a little bit more garlic powder, onion powder, and then I am going to put a little bit of smoked paprika. And then I'm going to put the Foodie non-onion, no garlic, maple barbecue sauce. This is the best barbecue sauce that I have found that tastes pretty good. That's pretty whole food plant-based. And I'm just going to add a little bit of water to that little bit that was in there. And I'm going to dump a little bit more. It's kind of thick. And it's that simple for the jackfruit sliders. I'm going to cook this up. And then we will come back and I will show you what everything looks like, all done, ready for the Super Bowl. All right. All right, so our cauliflower is done. So this is what it looks like. Again, I just seasoned it and roasted it. So now I am going to divide it into two separate bowls for us. One I am going to dress with Frank's buffalo sauce, and the other one I am going to dress with barbecue sauce. So you can I'm just going to kind of just evenly address it. So the first one, we got just Frank's Red Hot Wing Sauce. It's the easiest way to make buffalo cauliflower wings and without making it soft. And I'm just going to drizzle it on there. And kind of just toss it with the sauce. Again, you can make the breaded. I had posted on Facebook. I had shared something that I had breaded. Most of the time, I do not bread mine. I can eat it plain without the bread. But if you want a breaded variety, Forks Over Knives also posted a breaded version of it. So you can see how that looks. Just coat it with some Frank's Red Hot sauce, wing sauce. So there is our cauliflower wings. And then the other one, I'm going to put barbecue sauce on it. that in there and toss it with the barbecue sauce. So those are two variety, you know, you got to be careful when you're tossing it. You don't want to shred the cauliflower, but you just want to coat it nicely. Get all the cauliflower coated with the barbecue sauce. And that's a simple way, like I said, in the air fryer. I did the air fryer for about 15 minutes on roasting, which is roasted on 400 in the air fryer. You can also do these in the oven, but you can see that's nicely coated. And so we're going to throw them on a plate. You can see how they look. Throw these on the plate. So nice, easy recipes you can get ready with probably within when you do the cauliflower dogs ahead of time, you can get everything prepped and ready in about 15 minutes takes for cooking. Okay, so let's look at our carrot dogs. So here are our carrot dogs. And I just baked them on 450 for about 10 minutes until they're kind of brown. So we'll bring them over here and plate them. So just stick them in a bun. You can see they're nice and brown. Stick them on a bun. And I like to put on mine, and I'll show you some stuff on mine. I like to put ketchup, mustard, and relish on mine. So that's what I'm going to put on mine. Sorry. Get this bun open. For my bun, I'm using an Oral Wheat, 100% whole wheat bun. If I have used bread, that's what I like to use. Or I'll use Dave's Killer Bread. That's another one we like to use. That one didn't go in there too pretty, but it doesn't have to be pretty. So, and then I'll throw some toppings on there. So I'm going to just put some mustard. Oops. Some ketchup. And a little bit of relish on mine. That's how I like to eat mine. For this other one, I think we just want mustard on it. So we'll just throw some mustard on these, right? People from New York only like mustard on their hot dogs. Okay, and then the last thing that we have are our jackfruit sliders. I'm going to bring the pot over here so we can see. And so I just took Dave's Killer Bread and I just cut it up into 4 to make little sliders instead of buying more bread that we won't eat. We don't eat bread a lot. So I'm just going to, I just made little sliders with it like that. We'll just kind of put those on the plate. Oh, I wanted to put a little bit of just a salad that I had in there. I don't know. I just wanted to have a little bit of, it's a salad with shredded mango, the shredded carrots from the peel, and parsnips. Now, when I was cooking this, I did not like the flavor of it because I usually make a different jackfruit pulled pork recipe. And so I added a little bit of maple syrup to it and a little bit more seasoning. I added some cumin to it because I wanted to have a little bit more flavor. So that's what I did. And so that's our jackfruit sliders. It's like a pulled pork. So you can see a nice little combination to have for Super Bowl Sunday, along with our fruit platter. Our vegetable platter. And I'm going to pull the hummus out of the refrigerator here. So something I made extra, and I'll again link the recipe, is I know I have a couple of followers who like ranch dressing. So I tried a quick ranch dressing that uses vegan mayo. I do not use oil So I don't usually like mayo, but I had this in the cabinet for something that I was going to try, so I decided to use it. I used this one. The one in the recipe, they said to use a different one, but I had this one, so I tried it. So this is the dressing, the ranch dressing, and it tastes okay. It doesn't taste to me like ranch. It tastes more like a creamy Italian, but it's pretty good. If you wanted to have a ranch, you can look at I'll link that one if you want to make that for people who love ranch. And to add, you can dip your cauliflower wings in it. So here's our kind of buffet for the Super Bowl. So I hope you enjoy this video. Thanks, Renee, for requesting it. And I think Keisha had mentioned it before as well. So Keisha, thank you for requesting this video as well. And so I hope you guys enjoy. If you make any of these for Super Bowl Sunday, put a comment. Tell me what you think about it, and what you made differently, what you did. All right. Thank you. Have a good night.